Hello, my name is Julie O'Brien and I'm a Fáilte Ireland trainer. This video, entitled Maximising Sales Opportunities, is the third video in a series of 4 videos designed to help you prepare for Virtual Meitheal 2020. Virtual Meitheal offers a golden opportunity to convert leisure business from the global markets. So let's begin by talking about how best to manage your verbal pitch with travel buyers. Remember that at Virtual Meitheal, you have just 10 minutes to make an excellent impression, and you need to achieve this by means of technology and via a screen. Be aware that as you speak, the buyer is mentally assessing multiple points, including: are you trustworthy and reliable? Would you let the buyer or their customers down? Is your business offering crystal clear? Are the tourism experiences that you are selling crystal clear? Are you, your business offering, and your tourism experiences the correct match for the buyer, their customers, and their markets? The reality is that how you behave and the words you choose reflect your business and destination. So it really is important to do a really good job. Now you can see why preparing for the verbal pitch is imperative for a successful virtual Meitheal. So step 1, be aware that the Meitheal appointment system will allow you to screen share documents, including imagery and presentations. However, to do this, these files must be open on your computer and ready to show in advance of the appointment. So make sure to give yourself plenty of time before you begin and have everything you need ready so that you are fully in control and calm for your virtual appointment. Then from the outset, aim to put yourself and the buyer at ease with a warm smile and a strong Irish welcome. If it were me, I would say something like, "Hello, Johan. My name is Mary, and I represent the Ireland Horticultural Museum. I have been really looking forward to meeting you this morning." For the next step, show the buyer that you've done your research. Let the buyer know that you've taken care to find out who they are. In this case, I might drop something like the following into conversation. "I see from your profile that you cater for special interest gardening groups. Can I ask if you also cater for FITs? Step 3. At an early stage of the verbal pitch, it is crucial to root the buyer. Remember that the buyer comes from the international markets, so he or she may not be too familiar with Ireland or where your business is located. Therefore, in advance of your virtual appointment, make sure to have a good map that is ready to share so you can show the buyer your exact location. You could say something like, "My name is Mary. I represent the Irish Horticultural Museum in Tipperary, which is part of Ireland's ancient East. We are very proud to be located in a beautiful Irish village overlooking the River Suir." As you speak, maintain a professional but friendly tone. And keep in mind how your behavior and the words you choose reflect your business. Remember the importance of inspiring trust and connecting with the buyer. So be sure to maintain eye contact, especially via this virtual appointment format. Think of the buyer sitting in their office or home. Your job is to draw that buyer into your world through a compelling pitch. For each virtual appointment, you must make the buyer aware of the tourism experiences or services that your business has available for sale. Remember, you are participating in Virtual Meitheal to sell, and the buyer is there to purchase. So be sure to set out your market stall and tell the buyer what you have to offer. If it were me, I would say something like, and for your clients, I have three general experiences available. The first is a garden highlight walk, which is particularly good for those with lower mobility. The guided garden walk hike and the worldwide walking tour explore the gardens more deeply. I would then go on to say, and we also have two premium experiences, the Expert Gardeners Tour and the Curator's Edible Woodland Tour. These are a must for gardening enthusiasts. I might add, I cannot emphasize enough how privileged I am to work in these stunning gardens, and for me, the highlights are, and on you go. In light of COVID 19, please ensure that any information you present to the buyer is accurate. For example, before presenting the grid shown here to the buyer, a tourism business would need to verify that the minimum and maximum numbers displayed reflect government guidelines regarding social distancing. I need to remind you of the importance of really strong visual imagery that gives the buyer a crystal clear insight into your business offering and tourism experiences. Remember, all imagery presented via the Meitheal appointment system will need to be open and ready for sharing in advance of your virtual appointment. So please ensure that all your imagery is collated together in one place in a format that works best for you, perhaps in a PowerPoint presentation. Whatever format you choose, please note that the strong, clearly visible imagery should be used to engage, inform, and enlighten the buyer. Please note that step 7 is an essential must-ask question for every buyer you meet who expresses an interest in working with you and your business. To simply achieve a converted confirmed booking, you simply must find out how the buyer will ultimately engage with your business, as buyers can contract in different ways. To establish the answer to this question, you can simply say something like the following: I am delighted to hear that you are interested in working with us. Can I ask, do you contract directly with businesses like ours, or do you work with another travel partner? If the buyer advises that they work with another travel partner, ask for the name of that partner so that you can follow up with that business post Meitheal too. Ultimately, the buyer that manages the contracting is the buyer who can make a booking and send the business directly through to you. Step number 8. When speaking to the buyer, please do remember to be concise and do not over exaggerate. In Ireland, we can often be loose with our language, and we can say things like, we are the best, the only, the most unique. If this is not accurate, it is misleading for the buyer. Remember that you only have 10 minutes to pitch and engage with the buyer. So focus on using words that accurately present your business. Integrity is really important when engaging with travel buyers who are generally seeking to determine that our business is reliable and trustworthy. In 10 minutes, we can have so much to say, but do remember that it is essential not to bore the buyer. Instead, we should also listen and be mindful to engage the buyer too. To do this, ask questions like, do you feel that our business is a match for what you and your customers are looking for? Take a breath and be mindful to hear and note the buyer's responses and feedback. Know that during a verbal pitch, your job is to present the essence of your business offering and to establish a connection with the buyer. Post virtual Meitheal, you can always follow up with more detail via an email. Do make sure to remind the buyer of what it means to come from your area. Finding a hidden gem, showing a human touch, and knowing a secret only known to locals is always intriguing. To do this, you could drop a statement like the following into conversation. After visiting our brewery, I would recommend that you bring your customers to Jimmy D's famous ice cream store. I love an ice cream myself, especially when strolling along the riverbank. And on you go. Step 11 is all important. Never, ever leave an appointment without asking and knowing if a buyer is interested in working with you and your business. On each buyer appointment, you should establish this by asking something like, do you think there will be an opportunity for us to work together? I would really love that. Then each time you ask the question, make a note of whether the buyer replied yes, no, or maybe. In this way, you can clearly determine what opportunities are available for your business. Finally, for step 12, tell the buyer that you will follow up with information and give the buyer an indication of when you will do this. Then make a note of the advised date in the diary and be sure to follow up as agreed. Remember, the buyer is aiming to establish if you and your business are reliable and trustworthy, and this is best shown by our actions. Thank you for watching. As a next step, I recommend that you watch the fourth and final video in this series entitled Following Up with Overseas Buyers Post Virtual Meitheal. I wish you every success at Virtual Meitheal 2020.